So in the previous screencast we looked at another test for differences, but for 3 sets of scores. However, we looked at 3 sets of scores from 3 different groups. This time we're going to look at 3 sets of scores but using the same group, so where the same group of participants have had the same measure taken 3 times. This is what we would call a repeated measures design. And when we're using repeated measures designs, we can use a repeated measures analysis of variance, or a repeated measures ANOVA. So the research problem we've got this time is the effect of word length on word learning time. So, do short words take less time to learn than long words, and vice versa? So we have 3 types of words here. We've got short words, medium words and long words. So word length is our independent variable, and it has 3 levels: short, medium and long. And our dependent variable is learning time in seconds. So again, we're measuring time. Time is the dependent variable. So again, we want to know if there's a difference between the means, and we're going to use a repeated measures ANOVA. So if we again go back to SPSS, I've already got the data logged into the spreadsheet there. If we go back to variable view, the data that we're using is all scale because we're measuring time. In terms of analysing the statistics here, we click analyse, we're going to go general linear model, repeated measures, and then we get this repeated measures box here. So it's asking us for our within subject factor name. So our factor is our independent variable. So our independent variable is word length. So I'm just going to call that length. And the number of levels it has is 3. So I'm going to add that. Our measure name is time, because we're measuring the time it takes to learn these various words. So I'm going to add that. Then I'm going to click define. Essentially all I need to do now is move my word categories over to this within subject variables box here. I'm going to click them across like that. I'm then going to click on options, and it asks me to display means for, well, whatever I want. So I'm going to go for overall and for length as well. I want to compare the main effects, and then this drop down menu gives me an opportunity to look at some post hoc analysis. So remember we said the post hoc tests tell us where specific differences occur. So I'm going to click Bonferroni again, and then I'm going to click descriptive statistics as well, so I can get the mean and standard deviations. I'm going to then click continue and then click OK. And this is what our output gives us. So we get our dependent variables listed there, then we get our descriptive stats. So there's a clear difference between the means. Short words take a lot less time to learn than medium words and long words. But what about the significance of all this? The first thing we need to look at is this box here, Morshley's test of sphericity. If that value is greater than 0.05, then we can assume sphericity. So we look at sphericity assumed on the box below. If it's less than 0.05, then we do not assume sphericity, and we look at this greenhouse geyser. Because it is greater than 0.05, we can assume sphericity, and we can see here that there was a significant differences between the word lengths, but we're not sure where just yet. So in order to find out where, we scroll down even further to our pairwise comparisons. We can see which word lengths were significantly different from each other. So short and medium were significantly different to each other in terms of learning time, and short and long were significantly different to each other as well in terms of word learning time, and medium and long were also significantly different to each other as well. So lots of significant differences occurring here, and that's how we can look for differences between 3 sets of data using a repeated measures design.